In news just in, the Labour Court has dismissed the National Union of Metalworkers of South Africa's application for leave to appeal its ruling interdicting its currently ongoing National Congress. SABC reporter Atule Joka is at the Cape Town International Airport Convention Centre, bringing us the latest on this. Good afternoon, Atule. A big blow for this union, particularly yesterday they've made pronouncements on their new leadership. Where does this put everything that has happened so far, and also the Congress that's due to conclude tomorrow? What happens now?
Well, Diego, what I can say is that it's been a roller coaster ride. We don't know what next is going to happen in this conference, but we understand the conference is still continuing inside. This is the same reaction we had when we got that court ruling, a ruling which said that this particular conference has been refused leave to appeal. But what we hear now on the latest, the statement that you got from Numsa, is that they've also filed another appeal with the Labour Court. If I can read just the statement that we got from Pagamile Mutlubi-Majola, who's the spokesperson for Numsa, they said Numsa has lodged an application for direct access to the Labour Appeal Court. So there are many dynamics to this. It's been a roller coaster ride, but with me, I will have the applicants who have been granted that ruling, which said the ruling, the leave to appeal has been refused, and therefore this deems this particular conference to be null and void. As you would understand, that the leadership here said they are continuing with this conference with the understanding that they filed in a leave to appeal, which then gives them a right to overrule the court interdict, which was granted or given to them on a Saturday. But I will have the regional chairperson, the regional secretary of the Western Cape, Mr. Luvuyo Lufefe, who was the first one to stand up yesterday when it was time to adopt credentials, and said they are moving out because this particular conference is illegitimate and is also in contempt of court. Let me just bring him in. Mr. Lufefe, let's talk about the court ruling that you've been given, that they refused the leave to appeal to this particular congress. Just talk to us about that. Just your reaction on the court ruling.
Thank you very much, Atule. I must first say that it's a painful situation that the organization is going through. There's nobody that is happy. It is an embarrassment in this country, and it's an embarrassment in the international community. Yes, we have obtained a ruling against Numsa. Numsa applied for a leave to appeal, and it was set down yesterday at 18 o'clock. With the submissions made from both sides, the judge find it not necessary to give Numsa a permit to appeal on this matter, on this ruling. And the ruling is that, I would say, the application to appeal have been denied or declined.
But it seems like your leadership is continuing with the conference, and also the leadership that was elected yesterday unopposed. Where does this put them?
The leadership has been continuing against the judgment, and we view that they are in contempt of court, hence we have marched out. They have elected a leadership of their own because they are so desperate to have a leadership which, in our view, the leadership, it will be covering all what is happening within the Numsa Investment Company. But for now, we will allow the law to take its course up to the logical conclusion. Our lawyers who are acting on our behalf, they will deal with that. We are expecting any time that a contempt of court hearing must take place in order to ensure that for them who have gone against the judgment, they must account for that, and they must be held responsible for that.
It looks like this is a roller coaster ride, because what we just got in now from the spokesperson of Numsa, they are saying they've lodged another application for direct access to the Labour Appeal Court. So they are again appealing this ruling. It looks like your organization now is in shambles.
The organization is on shaky ground. And you know, sometimes you can't avoid to say why this is happening in the organization. These comrades are prepared to defend themselves, to remain there in order to cover corruption that is happening in the Numsa investment company. They will do everything possible using workers' money up to the Constitutional Court for something that they know that they cannot win. Their counsel that was there last night presented nothing new to the judge. And it was the same judge that heard the first set down on the matter, had our urgent application to lift suspensions, which then declared that those suspensions were invalid and they were unconstitutional. Now these comrades are continuing with workers' money. There is no mandate that has been given to them to appeal this thing. It is the Central Committee that takes a decision to litigate on behalf of the organization. And already now, an individual had pronounced that they are going to appeal. That for me, it's a clear waste of workers' money. And at the end, they will account for this.
I understand the financial reports are going to be given here today. You speak of corruption within the organization. What are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about corruption within the Numsa investment company. Numsa investment company finances are not going to be presented here. They have never been presented to us for the past 3-4 years. We have been demanding audited financial statements because of the conduct of the group CEO, Mr. Kandani Msibi, who had managed to make a loan in order to build the Numsa investment company some years ago and have never paid any dividends to the organization, but never even paid back that money, which was supposed to be paid back with 8% interest. Is not paying back that money. The last payment was in 2018. From 2019 up until today, Msibi had always been saying there's no money. While we can see that early this year, they have paid themselves 95 million of shares. Where do that money come from? And therefore, with that, we believe that running away with audited financial statements there's a reason.
So, what do you envisage to happen going forward? Looks like the Congress is happening. This particular leadership might be deemed null and void. What's next then for Numsa?
No. I think here, if that is the attitude, only a registrar will rescue Numsa from this situation. Because if registrar takes over, whatever these comrades wants to cover will be investigated, because we are really acting against the Constitution. We are coming from the Labour Court because the very same leadership have been acting outside the Constitution, and now they are prepared they have now elected themselves in an illegal gathering. They have now adopted themselves as leadership, and we are not going to allow that to happen. But law with law, that's what we're going to do.
Are you going to be moving back to the plenary? What is going to happen?
The challenge that we have here, our comrades who marched out yesterday because they could not combine themselves in a gathering that is illegal. Today we are told that they are not allowed to come back, and somebody has said that there is a plan to even check them out. It has been said somewhere inside here. We'll get more details. Nobody has got a power to check these comrades out. These are workers. This is their money. They are unhappy with the direction that their own organization is taking. And now why should they be checked out? If you are evicting them, because this is eviction, it's nothing else. If they do that, they must make sure that their flights are ready. Our comrades here, I don't think they will be unhappy if they are told to go home, because their homes are around here.
And also, which members do we have outside here, if you can confirm the regions?
We have got 3 regions that are outside here. We've got Western Cape, whose majority is outside. We've got Eastern Cape, some are inside, some are outside. We've got Ekurhuleni, some are inside, some are outside. That's the situation right now.
Thank you so much. Well, Diabo, what you see is other members who walked out yesterday out of that plenary. They form part of members from Western Cape region, Ekurhuleni and the Eastern Cape. They are still here, very defiant, especially after getting that court ruling, which refused leave to appeal to the leadership of Numsa. But as we understand, it's a roller coaster ride. Numsa has indicated they will file another appeal with the court ruling. So they are saying they are also continuing with the Congress here inside. At 1 o'clock, we'll be speaking to the president. He has called in a media briefing to also just narrate their own side of the story as to how they will tackle the issue and also their plans moving forward with the Congress here inside.